Greetings of the day, dear students. We have gone through the detailed content of the approximate estimate, wherein we have seen what are the content that we are going to study in this second chapter of estimating and costing. So let us have a discussion what exactly we are going to study in today's lecture. What is approximate estimate? In previous chapter also we have studied about the definition of the approximate estimate, what are the different types of approximate estimate, that all the things we have studied. So let us just overview on the definition. An approximate estimate is an approximate or rough estimate prepared to obtain an approximate cost in a short time for a certain purpose. The use of such method is justified. When you are supposed to go for any kind of the construction work, at that time you are supposed to prepare an approximate estimate, because whatever funds are required for the construction, the one should check, is it that funds are available, is it the department who is approving the budget sanctioning, is it they are willing to provide the funding for this type of the construction. And that's why every in every cases, the first and foremost step will be preparing an approximate estimate, in which in very short period of time an engineer is preparing the approximate estimate, which will be useful for the following. You can see the purposes of the approximate estimate. If you prepared the approximate estimate, you can evaluate the cost of the project in short time, as the estimate is prepared on the basis of the rates available, and just making a multiplication of the rates into the units of whatever may be the area or volume you are considering, you can get the cost of the project in very short time. This is the purpose. Then you are to evaluate the difference between the several options. जब आप कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हो तो आपको एक वैल्यू मिलती है कि फॉर एग्जांपल मुझे ये कंस्ट्रक्शन करने के लिए दिस मच अमाउंट आई एम रिक्वायरिंग. सो आपको आपको पता चलता है कि ओके, इफ दैट मच बजट इज नॉट अवेलेबल फॉर अ कंस्ट्रक्शन, then what could be a several option, means what could be the alternate option for reducing the cost of this particular construction, so that you can go through the several options and you can differentiate which option is correctly usable for your condition or your case. To check the final cost of the project, that is calculated by detailed estimation. If suppose for example I am calculating and calculation with the help of a detailed estimate, it is something in 10 lakh or 15 lakh rupees for example, so I can just recheck this calculation of this cost with the help of approximate estimate. If, for example, for 1,000 square feet area of the bungalow, if I have prepared a detailed estimate and its cost is saying that with the help of detailed estimate, it is a 15 lakh rupees will be required. But for an example, if we are having 1,000 rupees per square feet rate in that locality, so 1,000 into 1,000 will nothing but a 10 lakh rupees only. So I can get comparison. Is it the whatever cost I have got, that is a 15 lakh rupees in my case, is it is a correct, because according to the approximate estimate it is saying that only 10 lakh rupees is required. So I can compare that. Yes, some of the corrections or some of the problems that was occurred during calculation of the detail estimate, so I will check the same or the nearby same values are coming or not, because the same specification you are using for the work whatever you are taking into the reference, and that's why you can check the cost of the project cost with the help of detail estimation. Then obviously, as we have discussed, the approximate estimate is prepared to get an administrative approval. Then what are the different types of the or the methods of the approximate estimate, or we can say that these are the types of approximate estimate rather than methods of approximate estimate. So the different types of approximates are: number one, service unit method; second one is plinth area rate method; third one is cubical content method; fourth one is typical bay method; and fifth one is approximate quantity method. Depends on the criteria, depends on the conditions for which type of structure you are preparing an approximate estimate. You are supposed to use this particular type of the estimate. So this is a service unit method, the first one, where we are going to use it. We will have a look one by one. So what do you mean by service unit method? As the name suggests, service unit. Okay, so if you consider about the buildings, the each and every structure or the buildings are constructed to serve a specific purpose, and obviously depends upon the type of service provided. All the components of the buildings are dependent, and the cost of structure as well, and hence approximate estimate of such a type of building is calculated based on service unit. If you take into the consideration, the hospital is constructed depends on the beds. For 50 number of beds, this much type of the rooms are required, this much type of say official area required. These all the particular contents are fixed as per norms, and that's why such a kind of the buildings or the structures can be calculated with the help of service unit method. So which are the different type of the buildings which can be calculated under this method? So we can see that the first one is hospital, based on the beds; school or colleges based on number of the students, or you can say that number of the classrooms; then cinema hall, theater, auditorium, such a kind of the buildings can be calculated based on the number of seats. If you are using hotels or the lodges, it will be depends on its number of rooms. So like this, if you are having different type of the structures which are provided to prepare or to serve a specific purpose, this kind of the buildings approximate estimate can be calculated with the help of service unit method. Okay, so just for an example, you can see for a hotel or for a hostel. Sorry, it is a hotel. It's not a hostel. For hostel also, it will be depends on the number of rooms or number of students. For a hotel, it is based on bed. For hospital, it is a bed. School, it is a classroom. Cinema hall, it is a seat. And for a lodge or the hotel, which is called, or which is a providing and night stay kind of things, so you can say that that could be calculated on the basis of the rooms. So this is nothing but the service unit method. Based on this, we can see the some of the examples of the problems in upcoming lectures. So what you are doing is that you are just simply finding out the service unit rate in this case, and just by finding out the service unit rate, you can calculate the approximate cost of the any structure by just simply multiplication of service unit rate into service unit of proposed building. So this will be the method for calculating the approximate estimate. Then second one is plinth area rate method. As name suggests, this type of estimate is prepared on the basis of plinth area of the building, in which plinth area rate is derived from the same building having similar specifications, heights, and construction in the locality. This thing is very important when you are preferring to go for a plinth area rate method. The building which you are taking into the consideration, that should have a similar specifications, should have a similar heights, and it should have a same construction quality, and again it should be located into the same locality, and it should constructed into the nearby timing. Because if you are considering that construction is completed before 10 years before, and it is in similar locality having same specification, same height, then obviously it will not have any use. These all things should be matched, and then only you can take a reference of plinth area rate, and then you can calculate the approximate cost of the building. The plinth area rate is calculated based on the same building's cost and its plinth area, and then the approximate cost of the proposed building is calculated by multiplying plinth area rate to the plinth area of proposed building. So how to calculate this plinth area rate? To calculate plinth area rate, you will require two different things. What are that? You should require same building's cost, which is constructed with the same specifications, heights and construction, and in nearby timing. So the same building's cost you will require, and its plinth area also you will require. Then with the help of the cost divided by plinth area of the existing building will give you the plinth area rate. And then to calculate approximate cost of proposed building, you are supposed to just multiply plinth area rate to the plinth area of the proposed building. So this will be the simple calculation for calculating the plinth or calculating the approximate cost of the building or the proposed building with the help of the plinth area rate method. The plinth area should be calculated for the cover area by taking external dimensions of the building at the floor level. The courtyard on the other open spaces or area should not be included in the plinth area. So duct or courtyard or the any open area which is left as open, that should not be considered in the plinth area. That is the guidelines given. If the plan of the building is not ready or available at the beginning, just prepare a proposal. Floor area of rooms, etc., may be determined from the requirement. Means if you are having 3 by 4 meters room size, so 4 multiplies by 3 is 12 square meter. So likewise, you can add just internal size dimensions, and you can calculate the area of rooms. Then you can add 30 to 40% of the total area, which can be added for walls, circulations, and waste to get the approximate total plinth area, which is then multiplied by the plinth area rate, gives the approximate cost of the building. So this could be another type of the method that you can use. Okay, so this is what we have learned today about the plinth area and cubic plinth area rate method and service unit method. These two contents that we have seen. In next lecture, we are going to study about these three methods, that is cubical content method, typical bay method, and approximate quantity method. First of all, we are going to just see the theoretical contents of these five. Then we are going to solve the problems one by one. Okay. Hope you have understood all the contents. If you're having any of the questions, you can just put me in the comment or can just ping me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you. Thank you very much.